Hello and welcome to Alienate UK. Please put all questions in caps and start with an emoji. Super chat and super stickers are now active.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hello and welcome to a bonus edition of Alienate UK. It's just me hosting. Nicole is busy at work, so unfortunately she's not going to be here. I'd just like to welcome an amazing guest. Is Dayvid from Down the Rabbit Hole. Thank you for coming on.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolute short notice. But like I was saying, I've been following you for at least a year on Instagram. It's probably nearer
Thanks,
two,
man.
to be honest.
Appreciate
And
that.
I was speaking to Tommy Cullum, who does Let's Get Freaky podcast. We was chatting about something. I think it was because he posts a lot on Instagram. And then it's like, oh, do you watch Down the Rabbit Hole? He's like, I interviewed him last week. I'm like, shut your face. There is no way how he got in contact with you. And he's like, yeah. I'm like, nah, you're messing about. He goes, I'll get you his contact details. So obviously he got in contact with you, and then I emailed you, and then here we are. Oh, yeah. It's so good to have you on it, honestly.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it, Andy. Appreciate it. Well, we're just talking about your name, which I find fascinating.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of jealous because I wish I would have thought of that first, but you beat me to it, man.
I knew, but you got down the rabbit hole because I used to use the white rabbit out of Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
Like, I still use it in parts of like the intro and outro and a little bits in there. And it's like, I think I should have called it Down the Rabbit Hole. But then you're on Instagram and it's like, I can't do it because he's a top guy and what have you. So I'm not even going there.
You can definitely do it. You can definitely do it. Oh, excuse me. But the thing is, I'm getting a call here. Sorry about that.
No, you cool.
Let me go ahead and cancel that. There we go. So when I started out, I was trying to come up with a name, and that was the name that I really wanted to use. As you can see in my hat, Down the Rabbit Hole, baby. See that little red upside down R? Kind of looks like a rabbit.
Yeah.
I'm about to put that on my merch, my little store I have. But I went out there and I couldn't use it because other people had the name. So I was looking at all the Down the Rabbit Hole names on Instagram, and there are a ton, man. Ton.
Yeah.
But I was determined I'm going to use this name. So I was _ down the dot rabbit hole _ underscore.
I noticed that. Yeah.
And now I'm really fortunate that the page is taken off. It's been 2.5 going on 3 years now. In July will be 3 years. And whenever you type in Down the Rabbit Hole, mine is the first one that pops up.
Yeah, you are there straight away. And for those who don't know, I don't know if you know, you've got 145,000 followers.
So right now on Instagram alone, I have 146,000 followers, and it just went up to 146. And on Facebook, I have 63,000 followers. On Threads, I have 17,000 followers. So if you put all of them together, I'm on YouTube, I'm on X, I'm on TikTok, whatever. It's like over 250,000 followers all told. So yeah, I've been very fortunate. loving the paranormal, unexplained, supernatural realms. I love them all. It's my favorite thing. I love talking about it, and I just started it just because I love it. I just love having conversations about it, and it just took off. Like I did not. This is not my plan. I was not trying to become a person on Instagram. As a matter of fact, before I was kind of against Instagram. I was like, I don't want to look at other people's pictures. You know, what the hell.
Yeah.
But it grew on me. It grew on me, and I feel very fortunate. So
yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean with that, because it's hard work. Because I was just looking as well at how many posts you've put on Instagram. Like it was, because I took a screenshot just so I could use for making the thumbnail and that. 3,257 posts in 3 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wow, that is a lot of work.
I do search, and you know, the thing is, I loved watching the shows on TV. I love watching, like, for example, and I always bring this show up because it was one of my favorites, but it was the Paranormal Caught on Camera. Love that show.
I was watching that the other night.
Yeah, it's a great show.
The American one. You got the American in the US. Yeah.
And there's a UK version, because I would love to watch that.
I'll find the link. I'll send it to you.
Sweet. The thing about these shows is that there are a lot of videos that I would pass on. Like, you know, lights in the sky. Okay. They're like, big deal. I want to see aliens. I want to see up close aliens. You know what I'm saying?
Right there. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I want to see this. But so there were a lot of videos that were somewhere you can tell were fake, somewhere you can tell that were just not entertaining. And I thought, you know what I want to do? I want to make something where I can share videos that I think are worthy, right?
Yeah.
That they like and I think are whatever. And so that's what I started to do. And at first, I really wanted to share nothing but what I thought was real. And the longer I started doing this, the more I realized I really can't explain if this is real. You know, I'm not going to say this is a for sure ghost and this is Bigfoot for certain. This is he. I can't say that. I don't feel like I have the authority. You know what I'm saying? So unexplained. If I can't explain it, I'm going to share it. If it's fake, but it's really, really creepy, I'm probably going to share it. I'm probably going to share it, you know?
Yeah.
So that's how I do it. A lot of people don't like that. And I mean, it's fine, but I like it. So,
but that's it. But that's the best. And you do it for yourself.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to put, like you said, I wouldn't want to put stuff on here. I have put stuff on there and it's like, oh, that was awful. And it's like, do we keep it on or do we remove it?
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll keep it on there just so I can go back and look at how bad it actually was.
Yeah.
So to remind me never to do that again. And it kind of worked, I think.
Yeah.
I hope. So,
I've been really fortunate to get a lot of followers. But I'll tell you the story. I put a video that I knew was obviously fake, and you can see the evidence in the video of it being faked. Yeah. So it's a camera shot of a kitchen, and you know the like the little sprayer, it comes out and you can spray here and spray there, and then you can put it down.
Out the sink. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. It's like,
so the camera is kind of panned looking at that sink, and you can see a window also. And all of a sudden you see that move by itself and it's shaking around and you're like, "Ooh, that's interesting." But if you look at the reflection of the window, you can see a dude back there doing this business with a string, like a fishing line.
Through the window.
Clear fake, right? Clear fake. And I thought it was hilarious, but I thought I'm going to share this just to see what happens, you know? Boy, did I get a lot of angry people. It was just I was just messing, guys.
But I think sometimes you've got to do that, because like I was saying before, when I was on TikTok and I was getting into it and I was watching not what other people were posting, but how they were doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm not a flat earther. I get the concept of how flat earth would work and how a sphere works.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a question on there was, prove to me the earth is flat Then the second part of the video, prove to me the Earth is round.
Mhm.
None of us can get up out the atmosphere to look back at Earth to see what shape it actually is. How can we prove it? Oh my God, it went off. I'm like, and it's on notice, it's it's proper kicking off.
Yeah.
And I think total like 7,000 views or something like that in about 3-4 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was going to comment, I thought, no, I'll just leave you all to it.
Yeah. Those
Same stuff.
discussions, man. You don't want to get involved with those
I
discussions.
think you have to put them out to then get a
Mhm.
generalization of what everyone else is thinking about it. Because that makes a big difference, I think, in the world of paranormal as to how other people perceive stuff.
Yeah, really. Hey, Cincinnati, Ohio. Hey, how's it going? So I wanted to say, Tommy, shout out to Tommy, call him out there. Let's get freaky. Tommy we were talking, I don't know if it was on the recording or not, but he was saying how kind of like what you're saying, Instagram, I'm not really showing, it's not really popping for me or whatever. And I remember when he would post video like paranormal stuff that he would find.
Yeah.
And I found it interesting. Like I followed him and I was like, this is cool stuff. Then he stopped.
Yeah.
And I was asking about it. And he said, well, I mean, I think one of the reasons why is because people were getting upset at me on the videos I was sharing. They were saying they were fake and this is fake and that was fake. And I told him, I said, listen, dude, I know you're going to get that. I get hundreds of people saying my stuff is fake. And that's fine. It's okay. I mean, people have their opinion. I remember when I was watching that show I was telling you about, and I was like, oh, that is so fake. And I was that person, I was like, I can see this, or I can see the fishing line. It's okay. People have their opinion. And I used to, at first, when I started posting videos, I would get upset. I was like, hey, dude, easy. But everyone is entitled to their opinion. If they think it's fake, that's great. If they think it's Jesus or whatever, that's great. I'm okay with their opinion. And as long as you're like, all right with that, how they feel about it, or like, I always like that. If they say it's fake, I like, it's from the owner. It says, yes, I agree with you. If you think it's fake, I'm not going to debate you. You're entitled to think that. And that's cool. And here it is. Here's what I'm going to show it anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so, don't stop, man. Just keep doing it. Just keep rolling.
But it's, unless you've gone out and purposely faked a video, and put it out there and saying it's real, then I disagree with that. Because that ruins it for us that are trying to get the truth out there. Yeah. So, but then it's like Simon's just put in the chat, prove it's fake, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like you
I just don't want to debate
and all that before.
Yeah. I don't want to debate with people.
Exactly.
I will just say I can't explain it. If I think it's fake, I will definitely say. I just posted a post about the upside down, the man with the upside down face, and I don't know if you ever heard that, but it's a story about a guy who supposedly between the 40s and the 60s would show up in accidents, and you would see in the picture his face was upside down. He's smiling, and it was like, it's not a real thing. It's a created character, but the videos are out there and people think it's real. But in my post, I say it is not real. Basically, this guy had created this, and then he would Photoshop his creation and put them in these old photos. So I shared a whole bunch of them. They are creepy as hell. They're creepy, but they're not real. So I see the sober Carper here asking a question.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say yes. The answer. Oh, thank you, sir. Yeah, I have been asked to take something down before, and I'm not allowed to say more on that. I'm just basically, I was approached. I won't say the government. I won't say anybody with the government, but yeah, I had to take a couple of things down. So
people weren't happy with you.
There were some people that were not happy, officials that were not happy with me. What follow the most? Who you think is the most genuine?
Who do you follow the most? Do you think is the most genuine?
Genuine. That's a good question, because I really I wish I was an expert on video. I wish I was an expert, so I can actually have a better idea of what is real unexplained and what is fake unexplained. I don't have that credibility. Maybe I should start doing that. But I follow Slapped Ham. Have you ever heard of that?
Callum, the Australian guy.
Yes.
Yes.
I think I like how he does his stuff. I would like to be more like that. I would like to present my videos and talk about them a little. I try to do a little bit of that. I think he's really good. One of my favorites for sure.
But he always says at the end, you decide.
Right. And that's exactly, what you want. It's up to you,
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if you think this way or that. It's okay. It's your opinion and you're entitled to it.
Yeah. But no, I do. Slap Time was probably the first one in the way it's done that I started watching. I'm going back 10, 11 years ago.
Has it been that long? Really?
Yeah. It's only because I know where I used to live. I've been living here nearly 7 years now, 6, 7 years. And then where I used to live, I was there for 3 years. So it wasn't long after I moved into that place. So at least 8 years.
Yeah.
And he's kept the same format all the way through.
Yep.
And that's what I like about yours, because it's very similar. It's not the same.
Yeah.
But it's a similar sort of thing. And it's like, it gets you straight away. It gets you.
Yeah. He's a definite influence. He's a definite influence. Yeah. I really like his stuff. There's another, and I wish I can remember the name. But it was, it's a YouTube group. And they share, it's like a top 5. They share like top 5 videos. And I actually was in contact with them, and I was asking them, is it okay if I share your videos? Because I was sharing it, and I just think they're amazing. And they were very nice. They were like, no, please do not. We appreciate it if you wouldn't. And I was like, oh, okay. So I don't. And I try to contact anyone that has a video. I try to contact and make sure it's okay that I share it, because there's a lot of slop out there, people. Let me tell you, it is hard work looking for something that is really, really good. I have standards, and I don't want to put lights out there. I don't want to put something that's a 5-minute light being, followed for 5. Who wants to see that? I want to see an actual alien. I want to see one walking around. I want to see a real ghost with my own eyes. I want to record that. That's what I would like to see. Something that's compelling, that has some, some
Can
good.
Can I show you? Right. So a couple of years ago, I was out on an investigation at a cemetery just up the road from where I live. Now, the girl Ali that was out with me, her mum was watching it back. So at the bottom of the cemetery, you've got these big concrete tombs that you get. They get bigger as it moves away. So if it's for the Roman Catholic, I think it is Italian.
Okay.
So it's like they've got their own like part of the cemetery at the bottom.
Yeah.
So I think you get either 2 or 3 bodies in each bit, but it's all sectioned off. So we're down at the bottom here, and we could feel like there's something watching us, but we couldn't see anything. And then Ali watched this back on the video. I just concentrate on the center of the video and let me know what you see. Okay. I don't think there's any sound to it.
That's not a thug. You wouldn't be able to see.
It's like a streak of light or some sort of.
So the streak of light comes up, and then it's like someone's walking away. There was nobody else there.
Interesting.
You want? I don't want to bore you too much.
No, man, that was cool.
Yeah, so if you look in the middle, you'll see that streak of light, and then it kind of like gets up and it walks away.
Freaking cool, man. There's a question here I want to answer. Tanya Morrison.
Yes.
One of the freakiest videos I've seen and it stayed with me for months. And just to say, I've been doing this for a while. Before I started to do like looking for videos and working on it every day, every morning, it would freak me out. I couldn't do it by myself in the dark. I'm searching for videos like, well, there was this one video that stuck with me for months and months. And it was this gentleman, his pantry door, and it was a pantry door with a glass inlay that was like a smoky glass, had a little design around it.
Yeah.
It would open in the like 3 a.m., a little after 3 a.m. It would open on its own. And so he decided, I'm going to take a video to see what's going on. Because every time I walk downstairs, it's open. I close it before I go to bed. It's open in the morning. Around 3 in the morning from the video, it would open. And it was freaking him out. So he thought, I'm going to put a lock on there. So he put a lock. Recorded it again, and he kept getting like the door was trying to open. And so he thought, you know what? The next night I'm gonna see what this is, because every time he would check it out, there's no one in there, right? So he's watching the video. It's trying to open. You can see it jiggling.
Yeah.
And then on video, you see two hands press up against the glass. Let me tell you, Andy, that was creepy to me.
Oh.
And it wasn't until you saw the face press up as well that it was like, whoa.
No.
And it looked like a young girl. It looked like a girl, like a child. He opens the door immediately. He unlocks it. He opens it, and there's nothing in there.
Wow.
It's so freaking creepy. And every time I would get up in the middle of the night, that's the first thing that would pop in my head is that little kid.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh, no.
There is one, and I know you've posted it, and it's so some people at a funeral, and there's a little kid at a funeral, and there's like a little bit of glass on the coffin just before they lower it, and there's like bits of string hanging out like a tassel thing, and it gets pulled into the coffin.
Yeah, how? Why?
And that just what is going on? That is awful.
I posted that one, exact one. Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. There's really no explanation. I mean, other than is it on the bottom side somehow? It's going all the way through, and it gets caught and gets pulled in. I mean,
but it kind of gets pulled in and then it just stops, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's weird. It's so weird, and I think
it's
almost like the idea is someone in the coffin is not alive, but they're moving it somehow. So it's just bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but I don't like it.
Oh man, it was a good one.
Yeah,
so many good ones out there, man. I've been really fortunate to find some good stuff out there.
Yeah, but yeah. So when you find the material that you're going to upload, like you said before, you got asked to take one down.
Yeah.
Have you ever been asked to take one down and thought, do you know what? No, I'm not. I'm going to leave it on and let's see what happens.
Well, I've actually, so it's really hard for some of us out there that are like trying to share stuff because there are copyright issues, right? And so you have to be careful with copyright issues. And I recently had 2 strikes where it's a company called Viral Hog out there. They actually will go and they'll buy videos. So the thing with copyright, especially now, is that if a company buys a video, if you had that video 2 years ago on your page, right? Yeah. And they buy it 2 years later, they can make a copyright on that video and make it retro. So if they find that video on your platform, you're in violation of copyright, even though it wasn't at the time you put it in. So that happened to me twice in a row. And it was that company that has been doing this to a lot of smaller groups. Right. And I got a strike from Instagram. They basically demonetized me for 3 months as a result.
Yep.
And I lost out on some cashola. And so that was a bummer. But I think there needs to be more kind of like we need to be able to protect ourselves from this kind of thing. If it's there before and then you copyright it later, you should let us know.
Yeah.
I'll remove it. I have no problem removing stuff, but
Yeah, that's weird because I use Epidemic Sounds for my music and I pay X amount a month. So I can use the music, but if I stop paying it, so say I stop paying it today, all the music that I've used from them from today going back is fine. If I see music from tomorrow onwards, that's when I get copyright.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be because you've already got it, you've used it, you paid for it.
Right.
So that's not fair at all, is it?
I don't think it's fair. It's you know, a lot of us are trying to make a living, you know, a lot of us are trying to grow and hopefully be like Cowan and one day, you know, we want that's
it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I want to be able to do this for life. Like that's my income. I want to just do that. I want to go to like paranormal conferences and speak at them, or just hang out and go to the next one over here, go to one in the UK. That's what I want to do. That's what I want my life to be. But it's rough out there, man. You gotta be careful. You gotta keep an eye out.
You just got to keep pushing, I think. Keep going and going and going. And
that's what I was telling Tommy. I think Tommy would just share more. If you would get back and start sharing stuff, I think it would grow. It takes time, and you have to bring your own kind of thing to it. You have to add a little spice. That's what my girlfriend says. I have a lot of spice.
Yeah.
So I add a little spice to it. Hopefully it keeps going. So
yeah, well, I've been not having issues, but struggling like making the thumbnails. But I've been using PixArt, and I thought it was really good. I tried Canva a few months back. Couldn't get on with it.
Yeah.
So trying Canva now. Oh, the difference in thumbnails from PixArt to Canva is something else completely.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't realize how good the upgrade was from what it used to be to what it is now. So, and it's like the AI on Canva now is literally like taking a photograph. Depending what format you use, what theme, you probably couldn't even tell that it's AI.
I was taking a look at your page, and I was going back to like your videos.
Oh no, don't do that.
And the thumbnails from your older videos compared to the ones that you have now, it's a vast improvement. That's a big deal. A lot of YouTube people don't know thumbnails are huge. You have to come correct with your thumbnails. That's the selling point, so for sure. I mean, like One Nothing, we have I'm the co-host of One Nothing podcast with Amanda Goodwin, and I created those thumbnails, and they basically I figured what I'm going to do is I'm going to make all of them pretty much the same color scheme, and then I'm going to change the title and add a picture of the subject we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
So you see green thumbnails with the subject, the title of the thing, the picture of the victim or whoever it is. And then every 10 episodes, we do a survivor, and we've been doing animal survivors our past 4.
Right.
I'll change that to red complete. So now you can see, oh, okay, this one is a survivor episode, and these are.
Got ya.
So yeah, it's a big deal. And it gets a lot of play when people see it, and they gravitate right to that video. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then it's up to you to like really entertain the people afterwards, right? To keep them hooked. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the hard part. But I'm pretty much using the same background and just changing the name, putting the name of the guest, the date, and all that.
That's cool.
But I was looking at how Tommy does it, and Tommy does a new picture for
it's
every
really
single
cool
episode.
Yes.
So it's like, now I know how Canva works. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah. And the one he used for mine with that rabbit running out of the hole, I thought, damn, son, that's great. Good work. Yeah. Holy shit. Yeah, he's pretty creative with that stuff. It's really nice.
Yeah. But he uses one called Wanda.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
So he creates that for the AI. So he told me about that. So I got that. And then I use that in Canva. But I didn't realize on Canva, you can create videos as well now.
Oh, yeah. You can do AI videos and AI images and whatnot.
Yeah. So I think I'm going to start doing that, right? Because I've been using InShot and iMovie. to do the
Okay.
intro and outro. I'm going to keep them for now because I don't need to touch them, I don't think.
Yeah,
But
it's good stuff.
So when
Yeah.
I'm next ready to, what's the word, evolve,
Mhm.
then I'll do the next video, but I'll try it on Canva. Hopefully by then I'll know how it all works.
Right.
I probably
See,
won't, but
I kind of want to do that with mine. Like, I don't know if you can see the back there it's a metal, but that's my logo, right? That's my logo.
yes, the black and red.
Yeah, it's here too. Someone made a light of it right here, which is really cool.
Oh,
It's, and I want to evolve. It's time to evolve that logo. I really love the logo. I created it using AI, and the image it served me well. I mean, people seem to love it, but I always evolve, right? You got to evolve. You got to get better, and I think it's time to improve it. But I also have other logos. I have a rabbit, it's you see. I don't know if you see it. He's in a white suit. It's a white, obvious rabbit mask, and he's got a tie, and he's holding a white rabbit. That's one of my favorite ones. I have a kind of a demon looking dude that says DTRH. I mean, and it's got red eyes, and it's kind of like framed. Those are a couple of others I use. I like to change it up, man. That's why I don't have a tattoo, because I get bored with the same thing. If I had to look at the same thing on my body day after day, I would cut it out.
Are you ready?
It out of my skin. Yeah, if that's awesome. And
that's AI.
8 years from now, it would be I would cut it. I would carve it out because I'm tired of looking at it. I just like to change. I love to evolve. That's a
yeah. I know what you mean. That's why I went with the black and white, because then I can always add color to it. I can take the color away. I can highlight it. There's a few different things that I can do to it. So I did think about all that before.
That's awesome.
I got it done. So
I love your color scheme too. In the background, we got green, we got a lot of white. It looks really cool. I usually when I have people on our show, it's a blank wall. It's white wall, and it drives me nuts. I love looking at this. I can see something new. I look at the alien head over there, your logo right there. You got some sort of jar. It's lovely, man.
Yeah. Oh, you're gonna love this.
Oh, let's see. Oh, check that out. That's amazing, dude. And what is the liquid? Is it actual?
I've not opened it.
Okay.
So I'm not.
That's awesome.
I want to open it, but everyone's saying don't open it, don't open it.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Well, that's where the name check. So when I was saying it's codes of the paranormal, codes of the unknown, and that's where I got the name Decodes from.
Yeah.
But this is how it changed to Alienate.
Oh, okay.
Someone said, "I've got this. Make me an offer if you want it." Made him an offer, and I went up and bought it.
That's pretty cool.
And
I like it.
It just went from there. Yeah, so there's a lot. Right. So about you.
Yeah.
Have you had many strange encounters?
Yes. I've had a few. I've had 2 bizarre things happen in my life.
Yeah.
And then I had one that's explainable, but I've always, and I didn't tell Tommy this story, so I'm going to tell you, Andy, just for you, my boy. Tommy doesn't get this one.
Tommy, that's for you.
So this is 2000, I think it's 2003, 4, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
I was married at the time. I'm no longer married. I was at my wife's favorite restaurant, and it was kind of like a upscale, upscale Mexican restaurant. We're indoors, and it's kind of loud. There's a lot of the plates, the knives on the plates, and that noise. And so I'm enjoying my meal, and 2 tables in my eye line, there's a family. I can see a husband and a wife and a boy, and he's facing me, right? And so I'm enjoying. We're having a good time. We're talking, and I noticed this kid. He's staring at me. First, he's just staring at me, which whatever, it's a white family, right? And so I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe they're from out of town. He's never seen a Hispanic guy or whatever. I don't know what the deal is. But then he starts to widen he's like really looking at me. His eyes are like bulging a little bit, and then he starts to point at me directly.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the hell? And he says, and it's really, I can't hear what he's saying, but he's saying something as he's pointing at me. And then he's repeating it and he's pointing, and it's getting louder and louder. And I can almost hear what he's saying. His parents are trying to calm him down. Like they're trying to grab his arm and put it down, but he's pointing. And then I hear it. He's pointing at me and he says, "It's the devil. It's the devil." And he's pointing right at me.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden, the whole room got completely quiet. And that's all you heard repeatedly. "It's the devil. It's the devil." So his dad is putting money on the table. The mom is grabbing him. They are literally dragging him out of the restaurant. Like literally dragging him. And as he's being dragged, he's still pointing in my direction, calling me the devil.
Yeah.
And as soon as he was gone, you can hear him out the door. He's still screaming it. And
Wow.
you could hear a pin drop in the restaurant, man. You could hear, I swear to you. And it slowly dawned on me that I was kind of glad it was over, because I mean, no one has ever called me the devil in public, right? And then I noticed everyone was looking at me. Everyone was just staring at the devil. That's the craziest thing that's ever happened to me, man. I was so freaked out by that.
So what do you think it was? Was you the shape shifting? Do you know?
I think for that young man, I was indeed the devil. I was indeed Lucifer for a very short. No, I don't. The thing is, we talked about it. My ex-wife now says he was right. He was absolutely right. You were the devil. But we think it was the boy might have been he might have had like some sort of mental issue.
Yeah.
It could have been he could have been hallucinating. Maybe I was to him. I looked like I had horns and the whole deal, man. I don't know. And I hope that boy's okay. I hope, it sounds like
yeah. The reason I ask is there's a guy that I know called Alex Lovelock that does mediumship, and a couple of people in the chat know him. He goes down to Rendlesham where the UFO incident was back in the 80s.
Yes.
So I've met up with him a few times, and he was saying when he used to go shopping in the supermarkets, seems like kids would stare at him, like proper stare.
Yeah.
But he's done it like when he's doing the mediumship and he's talking and the voices come through. He was saying that he's got photos where he doesn't look like him. His face, his features change. So could it have been something similar to that I suppose like a walk-in or something?
I mean, I don't know. I really wish I had someone who had taken a picture. Of course, this is before smartphones. This is a while back.
Yeah.
But I did find it. I mean, you've heard of mob mentality, right? I mean, people probably were looking at who they thought this kid thought was the devil. So they were all mesmerized and just staring at me. And I had that throughout the entire evening before we left, People were just like, no one said a word. No one said, "Hey, are you okay, Dayvid?" We don't know what happened, but everything's fine. Even the wait staff and everyone, they were freaked out with me, man. I was, as far as they were concerned, I was the devil, and they were happy for me to leave. So it was just bizarre, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
For that to then happen afterwards, kind of puts not being horrible to you.
Yeah.
Kind of puts credit to what the kid was saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like you ever heard of the like mass hysteria or like
yes, yeah.
something where people will believe one thing. That's what it felt like. It felt like I felt like the devil. I mean, I felt like he made whatever he saw, and these people that were looking at me believe that this guy could possibly be the actual guy,
Yeah.
And
So did you feel different at the time, or do you just think,
nope,
what this shit is going on here?
that's exactly what I was thinking. What the fudgles is
Yeah.
happening right now? Well, I don't get this. What's going on?
Yeah.
I felt bad for the kid. I thought he probably had. I'm trying to think of the disease. It's called mind split. I used to go by that name a while back.
Yeah.
But it's I can't remember what it's called. But you know, it's a disease where they have these hallucinations and they see things. You know, they hear voices, right?
Yeah.
So I think he might have had that, and he, you know, an unfortunate thing that happened to that poor kid.
Wow.
But I had another experience in 2014. I've talked to Tommy about this one.
Yeah.
October, about a week away from Halloween, there was a fire in my apartment.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't know there was a fire going on. I remember the whole thing. Sunday afternoons, like 4-ish. Me and my dog Charlie were watching TV. She was sitting with me in my chair. We're watching TV. And I smelled what I thought was a barbecue. I thought someone outside was barbecuing. I thought, oh, man, you know, it's Texas, right? That's not uncommon for a Sunday barbecue. That's exactly what it smelled like. And I was thinking, should I take a nap? And I had this theory. I'll just tell you my theory before I tell you this whole story. I can't prove it, but I believe that there are like a billion, trillion, I don't think the largest amount you can possibly think of other realities.
Yeah.
Right. And so my thought was like, how many realities did your parents meet and then have you? Right. There's got to be a whole lot of those, but there are also a whole lot of realities where your parents didn't meet and your dad met someone else. Right. And then there's a whole lot of whoever that person is. And one of my theories about this is, in different realities, if you go from the time you were born to, let's say, the oldest you could possibly be, like, let's just say 120 for argument's sake.
Yeah.
That there are all these realities, these different ones, that you have died in every moment in another reality. So from birth all the way up to your 120.
Yeah.
In those realities, in every moment, at this very moment, Andy, you and I died in a different reality. At this very moment, a plane has crashed through this and has destroyed me. So I've been thinking about this for a long time because something I could not explain happened to me during this fire. So I was thinking, should I take a nap or should I watch TV? And so my thought process was, the next day I had to work. If I take a nap at 4 PM, it's going to screw up my night and I'm going to have a shitty Monday. Right. So probably don't want to take a nap. But then the other part of me is like, I'm really tired. So I think every moment you have this like decision you're going to make, whatever decision you make alters one reality, right? And it splits. Let's say you've made both these decisions, right? So there's a reality where you've taken a nap and there's a reality where you're staying up. I stayed up. That's what I remember. And I remember hearing glass break. And I went to go and investigate this, right? So I looked out my window. There was glass on the floor. I figured my neighbors upstairs were arguing and they broke their glass or whatever. I didn't know that the fire was raging and that's what caused the glass to break. I had not a clue. That's why the glass broke. It wasn't that they were arguing. I went back, sat down, watched TV. I continued watching TV. Little did I know a fire was raging throughout the entire apartment above me, right? But I also have a memory of waking up to glass breaking from my bedroom and hearing the glass breaking and then just going like back to sleep. So I don't know what happened in that. I just know that eventually someone came knocking on the door screaming, fire, fire. Turns out it was a guy up the street actually, and he was working on an AC at a convenience store. Happened to see the smoke, drove his truck all the way down, and basically saved my life. And I never saw that guy again. I never got to meet him and thank him. But the firefighters told me that if I had stayed there for 10 more minutes, I would have been dead. I would have died for sure
Wow.
from smoke inhalation. There would, you would not have survived this. And I was like
Jeez.
really freaked out by that. And I felt like, did those two realities, hit each other? Did I get a taste of that other side for a second? How do I have that
See,
memory? It doesn't make
that's
sense to me.
weird.
Yeah.
So
I've never been able to explain it.
I was talking to someone the other day, but what you've just said has triggered something else. So I can recall 2 times where I've had double memory of something
Oh.
that's happened, but 2 not. So something was going. I won't go into it because it's pretty boring. But something was happening. But then I've got a memory of me being in one place when it happened,
Mhm.
and a memory of me being somewhere else when it happened. I can remember both sides to this
That's
one
crazy.
thing.
Yeah.
And
Strange,
that's
right?
Twice I've got that.
It's
And
a weird feeling, right?
I can't think about it because it hurts. It's like it just.
How can you
proper
have that
messes.
memory? How
Yeah.
can you have that memory? It doesn't make any sense.
How
you
can
weren't
you
there.
remember? How can you remember one event from 2 different locations in 2 different
Exactly.
areas?
Exactly. Yeah.
It doesn't
It's been
make
a trip.
sense.
So after that, I remember I was just happy to be alive. I was just happy that I survived this. Me and my dog were okay. Years go by and I've started to have a couple of bizarre things happen. So one thing is behind my neck, unexplainable, is a small little thumb-sized patch of what looks like a 3rd-degree burn. And I couldn't explain that. I don't know why I had that. And what the weirdest thing is that if I would touch it and if imagine your thumb having gills. So there was like 3 little slits.
You can
And I would
feel
feel it and I could move it up and down. The gill, it felt like I'm not a fish, man. I don't know why I have this. This is so weird. And when I had my girlfriend would look at it, she said, "Looks like you had a 3rd-degree burn. It looks like a burn."
Yeah.
And it started to grow. And it's about the size of my palm now. I don't know what it is. I went to the doctor. The doctors don't know what it is. They sent me to a specialist. The specialist doesn't know what it is. They're like taking tests. They've taken samples. I can't explain it. It looks like a 3rd-degree burn. The other thing that I can't explain, and it's been happening a lot, is I can smell smoke. And it's the same smoke that I smelled that night. Because it smelled like barbecue, but then it smells like a chemical smell to it.
Yeah.
There's a chemical smell to it. I recall, like towards the end, I remember that chemical smell that was attached to that smoke that nearly killed me. But now I smell smoke, but there's no fire, nothing is on, and I'm so used to it now. It's just I just know it. It's not.
It's a far out question now.
Yeah.
So with you saying about all these other different realities, do you think there could be another version of you in that reality, and that's why you're picking up? There's a connection of you and other you.
Yes.
Kind of not reliving it, but
I think other me died. I think that other version of me didn't make it because, like the firefighter was telling us that if you had stayed there 10 more minutes, you would have died. I would not.
Yeah.
My apartment at the time, the front door all the way to the bedroom door, and I always sleep with my bedroom door closed and locked. That's just the way I sleep. I never would have heard him knocking. I never would have woke up, and I would not have survived. I know that for a fact. And then when I went back to get all the stuff that survived, which wasn't much, there was these gaping holes in my bedroom, and all this stuff had fallen onto my bed. And so, I was thinking, is this a burn result? Is it growing because it's matching this other me in this other universe that didn't make it? Why is that happening? I don't know what it is. I started to look up CERN and these other type of where they're doing this experimentation. Could they have opened slapped 2 of these realities together at this moment, at that very moment? Could that have been? I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know. I looked up CERN at the time.
Yeah.
Supposedly CERN was, they were doing some sort of, they weren't an operation. They were doing some sort of repairs or something.
Like maintenance. Yeah.
Yeah, maintenance of some kind, major upgrades, what have you. So they claimed they weren't operating at the time, but there are others here in the States that some are secret and some are not, like where they do these same kind of testing. So I don't know, man. I can't. I hate talking about it because I feel like I sound crazy. It feels, especially the smoke smelling. I smell it. Like I was driving the other day and I could smell it, and I know it's not real. I know my car's not on fire. I know there's nothing in there that's burning.
Yeah.
And it's just annoying now. It's not, I'm just so used to it that it's annoying.
Have you ever thought of having regression just to see if you can pick anything up?
Yes, I would love to do that. I would definitely, yeah. The other thing that happened to me actually happened the same night.
Oh.
And it is it makes me wonder, was I not open to anything before? I don't know. But that night, the Red Cross was going to put us up because I was the only one in the building. Let me just say that right now, because I would have been the only one that died. Everyone else was having a nice, fun Sunday.
Gone.
Dave was watching TV, ready to be burned up to a crisp. But my sister calls me up, says, "Hey, come stay with me. I got a guest bedroom, right?" All right.
Yeah.
Go stay with her in her guest bedroom, which is also her crafts room where she does crafts.
Yeah.
With my 3-4-year-old nephew at the time. He was 3 or 4 at that time. So I go, I spend the night there. My brother-in-law, her husband, this is another weird thing. He was not very happy with me being there. I don't know why. He was a good guy. I've known him for a while. He was very pleasant, very soft-spoken. But ever since he started living in this house, he changed. He became a different person, and he was kind of a major asshole to my sister at this point.
Yeah.
I didn't really see any of that, but then I started seeing it to me. Like he was like letting me know he wasn't happy with me there.
Yeah.
Without actually saying it. And it's like, oh, okay. So that night I'm going to sleep. And like I said, the door needs to be closed, locked. Me and my little dog, Charlie, she's like up here, and I'm sleeping on my right side. I finally fall asleep. It was a very trying day with the fire and all that. And it's around, I don't know, 2-ish in the morning. And I feel what I thought was my sister waking me up. So I'm like laying on my right side, and I feel this little hand, because my sister's like 5 feet. She's a tiny girl. She was like, I felt this, like, get up, kind of like this business. In my mind, I was waking up slowly thinking, oh no, is this another fire? What's going on? Yeah. And as I'm feeling this, I look up to see what I thought was her, and there's no one there. No one is there. And now I'm fully awake because I just was waking up by something, and there's nothing in. And then I hear what sounds like footsteps from the part of the bed I was sleeping at, and it walks around the bed to behind me. I could hear footsteps. I look up and I see that the door is clocked, completely closed and locked.
Yeah.
And my dog is up. She's like, she sensed something also, right? And it was then that I heard a little boy giggle inside the room with me.
But gum.
This is before I did any of the paranormal stuff, before down the rabbit hole. I was freaked the fuck out. I was freaked out to the point that I reverted to a child and covered myself with my blanket, basically. It was chilling. The giggle freaked me out, man. I was like, even my dog didn't bark or nothing. She was freaked out.
Yeah.
And then it started to walk back to face me. And I heard like these taps, like 3 times.
Oh, not the 3 knocks.
Dude, I didn't know what to do. I looked, I peeked, but there was nothing. I couldn't see anything.
Yeah.
And then it stopped. I don't know how long it took me to fall asleep, but it took me a while. But I did finally fall asleep. I couldn't move. I couldn't get up.
No, I know. I've been
frozen.
there. Yeah. What do you think you would have done though if you'd have looked out and you'd have seen something?
I would have I think I would have finally submitted to the fight or flight response and got the hell out of there probably. But that has always been a bucket list item. That's why I looked. I want to see a ghost. I want to see it. I don't care if it's a see-through
do you think
ghost.
You've ever seen one?
No, I've never seen one. Apparently I felt one. It touched me. That is the creepiest thing that's ever happened to me. But I do want to see one because I share a lot of these videos where security guards or people are like talking to someone, but there's nothing there.
Yeah.
So I love those videos, man. Those are, to me, are the best because someone's having a natural experience and the camera ain't picking them up, but it's a solid human being that they know and they're talking to, having full-on conversation. So I don't care if it's a full-on thing or see-through. I don't care. I want to see one. Yes, that person just asked an excellent question. So I get up the next morning and I tell my sister, hey, something happened last night. And she says, you've experienced it too? And I thought, oh my God, you didn't tell me that there's something going on. You just had me sleep in this room and there's things. She says, mom and dad have experienced something like that in the room. I've experienced something like I'll be doing my crafts and things will be falling off like the shelves. And I'll put them back and then they get the same items are knocked back off. And I said, holy shit, I cannot believe this. Well, she tells me that Max, my nephew, her son, had been talking to somebody in the room, but she figured it was like an imaginary friend.
Yeah.
And so she would ask, who are you talking to, Max? And he would say, I'm talking to Coco, my friend Coco. And so this had been going on for a while, right? Until Coco started to scare Max. I don't know how or what he was doing or what this thing was doing, but Max would run screaming his head off out of the room, just terrified to death, running to his mom, you know. And basically they were not, I mean, he was terrified. He couldn't, for years after this, he couldn't go to any Halloween store. He couldn't go to like a Chuck E. Cheese with the animatronic mouse and all that. He couldn't see any of that shit. It would freak him out. And I think it was because of whatever he experienced in that house.
Yeah.
And speaking of my brother-in-law, he got increasingly worse. So they ended up getting a divorce. And the person who owned the home they were renting told my sister when she was going to rent it to her, I need to tell you something about this place. Anyone who rents here, whether they're married or if they're a couple or they're just dating, whatever it is, anyone who ever moves here ends up splitting up. It's just happens every single time. And I just feel like it's my responsibility to tell you. And my sister was like, yeah, right. Because they had a great relationship. I'm telling you, Andy, they were made for each other. It seemed like they were, you know, they got married on Halloween. He was Frankenstein. She was Bride of Frankenstein. I was Hitler that year. I know it was a bad idea, but it was weird that they ended up divorcing, and he did become strangely. I feel like he was slowly getting possessed because he was not himself. They moved out of that house, right? He left after they divorced. He left. She moved out, and they're great, like parents raising Max, and they really work well together. He's not that whoever that was. He's not that person anymore. He's normal. He's back to himself. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Something's up with that house. I want to investigate that house, but there are other people living there now. Yeah, right. I mean, I feel like I'm gonna freak them out. My sister's a psych nurse, and she actually was having a conversation with a guy that like works there. I don't know if he's an orderly or what. Turns out this guy, he's like in his 70s, and she's telling him about what's going on in the house. And he said, "Is it this address?" And she goes, "How did you know that?" And he said, "I lived there when I came to this country." He was from Cuba. He said, "I came to this country, and there was a woman who was a foster mother. I lived in that house, and she was evil, man. She was evil." And so I wonder if, you know, this evil woman, if some kid died in that house, and that's
what I thought straight away.
Yeah, I mean, crazy.
Tongi's asking, is that sorry?
Go for it.
Oh, is that house old? Is the house old?
It's in this
Yeah.
place called in San Antonio called Cherry Ridge, and the neighborhood is really, really old. Really old, yeah. It's been there for I believe since the 30s or 40s. It's been there.
Oh,
the whole neighborhood's
wow.
been there for a
So,
very long time.
wow.
So Andy, I do ride share. And every time I pick up somebody from like an old neighborhood, I ask them about it because I live
Yeah.
in San
Yeah,
Antonio,
yeah, yeah.
Texas. San Antonio, Texas is haunted, man. It is haunted like crazy. And I have two stories I'd like to share if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course. Go ahead.
So I picked up this older lady. She was in this older neighborhood. Very nice lady. I forget her name, but she was telling me that, you know, she likes the neighborhood she lives in, and it was a pretty old neighborhood. And I said, do you mind if I asked you, have you ever experienced anything paranormal that you can't explain? And she goes, yes. 34 years ago, I moved into this house, the house that I'm living at now. She says, we loved it. It was a beautiful house. We were very happy with it. And the only thing that bothered me is we could hear what sounded like someone in boots walking around the house. Me and my husband would get up out of bed and go looking to see if someone was in the house, had broken in or what have you. The house is not, I mean, now if you look at the neighborhood, it's torn down a little bit. 34 years ago, it might've been nicer. I don't know. But she kept hearing these footsteps, her and her husband, and they could not find the culprit. So days go on after they moved in. She would start to hear a voice, a soft spoken voice, and she would be alone, and she would look around. There's no one there. She couldn't explain what that was. Her husband was making fun of her, thinking, oh, I don't hear no voice, you know, you're crazy. Then she would hear whistles and then heavier conversation, and it was only to her, and she thought she was losing her damn mind. That's what she said. I swear to you, I thought I was losing it. I thought I was going crazy. And then I had a friend of mine with me one day, and she heard it too. So I was like, thank you. So I'm not losing my mind. And I said, oh, wow. So did you ever find out what the deal was? And she said, yes. So one day she was outside with her neighbor, and the neighbor was asking her, hey, how do you like the house? How are you enjoying the house? And she says, I love it, but there's this one thing. And he says, what is it? And she says, I hear footsteps. I hear. And he says, is it like, does it sound like boots? Yeah. And she goes, yes. He says, it's the owner, the owner of the house, the one who sold it to you. It's his father. He died in that house. He hung himself in that house. Shit. Yeah. And you know, I was like, from her perspective, if you've never experienced anything like this, right? And now you're hearing things and you're seeing things, or not, but she didn't see anything, but you're hearing voices and you're hearing footsteps and you can't explain it. And then someone explains it to you fully. Yeah. Where does your mind go with that information? Right. But I was like, wow, that is such a crazy story. And she says that she contacted the owner, the one who sold it to them. Yeah. And he said, yes, he confirmed it. Yeah, my dad did hang himself. I'm sorry I didn't divulge that information. Yeah. But clearly he couldn't sell the house if he, you know, she said we got it for really cheap. And I couldn't understand why. It was such a beautiful house. Bang, but there's a reason.
In it, I don't know if it's in every state in the US. I'm not sure if it is in the UK. But if the house is suspected to be haunted, the real estate or the estate agents have to declare it.
Yes. Yeah. They have to. Yep. It's I don't know, 34 years ago that was a law, but
I think it's recent. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have to disclose it. And you know, a lot of people don't believe in that anyway. They'll buy it, don't care, and then experience it, and then they'll change their whole perspective of what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's mad.
It's crazy, man.
But I know of a woman who, her name's gone. She lives in Tennessee. Is it Paris in Tennessee? She bought a house there because it's haunted.
Oh, wow.
That was the reason why. Yeah.
That's really cool.
And there's loads of stuff that goes on there. I've interviewed her a couple of times. She'll go mad because I can't remember her name. She's completely gone.
Was she a podcast host?
No, she just had encounters. I think she's a medium. I just can't. But remember her name. I'll email it across to you, and you probably have heard of her.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, look, the Reverend Wild Bill just said here in Georgia they have to disclose of murders and deaths, but not hauntings because most people don't believe in haunting. Yeah, but this was a death. The guy committed suicide in the house. So bizarre. Wow. So they should have. I would have told her, you know, my dad died in the house. So he hung himself. I would have said, hey, just so you know, it might have changed. It changed their. Might not have. They might have bought it anyway.
Yeah, you never know.
You never know. You never. I had another story where I picked up this younger girl. I thought I was taking her to high school, but she actually had a job, and she was telling me that her mom goes to Mexico frequently, so her dad would drive her to the bus station downtown San Antonio, and that's where the Greyhound bus station. I don't know if it was Greyhound back then, but it's Greyhound bus station now. I go by it all the time, pick up people and drop people off there.
Yeah.
And she said that her dad didn't want her mom walking at night. Like if he would drop her off in the morning or kind of in the evening, by the time she got to Mexico, it'd be nighttime. And so he felt, I'm going to take her at 2 a.m, right? Drop her off at the bus station 2 a.m. She can get a ticket. By the time she gets to Mexico, it's going to be 8 a.m. or whatever.
Yeah.
And she won't be walking in the dark or what have you. So she was telling me that one morning they all went as a family. So it's mother, father, her, and her sister. They're driving downtown and they come across a woman. Mind you, it's 2 a.m. Yeah. They come across a woman walking down the street next to a building, and she's wearing an old-timey looking poofy dress. It's kind of shot out, and she's got a parasol. It's not raining. She's got a parasol. It's the fabric umbrella kind of thing. And she's just walking around. And the mother is the first one to see her. And she pointed out to everyone. She said, oh, my God, look. She looks amazing. Isn't that awesome? I wonder if she's going to a costume party, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's looking at her. So this woman's about to make the turn on the street, on the sidewalk. They also were turning. And the girl told me as they turned at the same time, the woman vanished. She just evaporated into the air.
Oh.
And was completely gone. And the mother, I don't know if she saw it or not, but she said, where did she go? Where did she go? The daughter saw her vanish. And she said, I was kind of stuck because once you see something like this happen, it's like your mind doesn't know how to process it. And it's like, did I just see someone just disappear into the thin air, you know? So the mother's like, oh, go around. So she made her husband drive around the street to see if they can find the woman. She wanted to ask her what she was doing in this odd dress and walking around. They couldn't find her. She was gone.
Wow.
I believe it could have been like some sort of residual, not like an intelligent haunting, but like some sort of residual,
like stone tape fairy.
Yes, and it's just she just disappeared. It just played that little, video, and it just disappeared. And I just think that's one of the most awesome stories I've heard, because there's a lot of stories near the Alamo where you can see soldiers walking around the Alamo. So I love how haunted the city is.
That's cool. Well, it's not cool, but it's cool.
It's cool. It's really like the story was like, I was like, I have to share that. Do you mind if I share that? She was like, absolutely, go right ahead. Great story, man. Love it. I ask all the time too.
Yeah, that's it. It's like with my job, because I drive for a living as well.
Cool.
Deliver medication, and we go like out in the sticks, middle of nowhere. Yeah. So we go to a lot of farms and that. So I'm driving up. It's like, surely these people have seen something.
Oh yeah.
I really, really want to ask, but it's like, should I be asking because I'm at work and I'm supposed to be professional and what have you? Or do I just say nothing? And
well, let me ask you this question. When you say nothing and you drive away, do you regret not asking?
Every time. Every single time.
Definitely ask.
Yeah, I think you might have to. Yeah.
I do. Listen, I want to know if there's a story. What's odd, I was telling Tommy this. What's odd to me, because it seems like every time I ask, someone has a story. And if it's not happening to them, they tell me, like, my sister said this. But
Yeah.
I've had, up to this date, 5 people tell me, no, never had anything happen. One guy straight out said, I don't believe that shit. One guy was like, he was an older gentleman. I don't believe that shit at all. That's poppycock.
But don't you think the best ones are, no, I don't believe in it. But
yes,
it's one time,
I
and
can't
then they'll
explain
tell
this.
you a story. Yeah.
Mhm.
They give
I
you a
love it,
story,
man.
and it's like, there it is.
There's some good stuff out there, you know, and you have to, like, there was this one, oh shoot, I just remembered one. This guy, he was a younger guy. He was in his 30s. I was driving him to work, picked him up, and he was talking. I forgot what he was talking about, but I told him, hey, have you ever experienced a haunting? Have you ever experienced any ghosts or anything like that? And he said, yeah, but he didn't really start telling me the story. So I told him mine. I was like telling him, well, I heard a kid laugh. You know, I heard a child laugh and woke me up. Blah, blah. I was telling him that story. And then he started telling me, yeah, when I was a kid, I was at this elementary school I was going to, or primary school, whatever you guys call it. There was this event happening at night, and apparently there was a principal that had died in the school or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was listening to him and looking at him, and this dude was lying through his teeth. I could read it. I could read him lying to me, man. Yeah. Because he continued that. And then my brother, and then I heard a noise, and it was strange. And then I heard laughter. So he's repeating what I told him.
Yeah.
And he's making, and I was like, oh my God. So I'm kind of blessed in the sense that I can actually pick up when someone is feeding me a line.
Do you find, sorry,
go ahead.
Do you find now, though, through doing this, that when someone starts telling you, pretty much straight away you can pick up whether it's true or not?
Yes, I can tell. And you know what? There's some very good liars out there. There's some that's like, they're perfect at lying. They're really, really good. So I cannot be 100% certain, right? But like the story about the girl disappearing and the story about the man that hung himself in the house, I could tell these people were telling me something that really happened.
They tell you.
Yeah.
That's how you can tell.
She experienced this. It happened to her. She can't explain it. She's not saying, oh, that really happened. Yes. And I believe it was so. No, this happened and it was weird and I can't explain it, but it freaks me out. And so they did some sort of seance on the lady with the hanged man.
Yeah.
They did. She said she invited like a very famous person here in San Antonio that does cleanings or whatnot. And they did a cleaning, and then they sat down at the table and they were talking, and the woman was looking at her, but she was looking behind her. Yeah. And this woman was like kind of shocked at what she was seeing, suddenly got up, screamed, I'm never coming back to this house, and took off and never returned. And so that woman was like, what the hell did she see? Did she actually see the man hung behind me? What the hell? But anyway, yeah, I mean, this poor kid was telling me a line. He was feeding me a line because he wanted to be a comic. I get it. It's fine. But I mean, tell me some real stuff, brother. Yeah. You didn't experience anything. It's okay.
And the thing is as well, the real stuff isn't as exciting
sometimes
as you think it would be. I'm not saying some of it is, some of it's not. The majority of it isn't.
Right. Yeah.
So
think of this story. Oh, I was walking. Something kind of walked in front of me that I could see right through. And then it was gone. Cool story, bro. All right. That's all that happened. Yeah, that's it. Usually that's the story, right? That's, but he did experience something. It's just not, it doesn't have that production value, it doesn't have that oomph that, but it's true. It's real. It happened to this guy. He's saying he's an honest gentleman, and maybe he's not feeding us any lines,
Well, I'll tell you quickly my Anubis encounter, or what I believe is an Anubis.
Okay.
Right. And I'll do it as plain as it happened.
Okay.
Driving along through the east coast, like near the east coast of the UK. It was about 6 weeks before Christmas. Going around a bend, I seen someone stood in front of a tree. We made eye contact. I got a message in my head, shit, he see me. Then it vanished, and I carried on driving. And that was it. But when I go into a bit of detail on it, it's like the eye color and how the uniform of the colors on it makes it a bit more. But it only lasted for a couple of seconds.
Wow, that's awesome.
It's like, but I always say I cannot give you any more to it than what I seen.
Right.
Because I'm just going to be making it up from that part onwards.
Right. Like
you
could say,
it looked like a Doberman. It was stood like it was guarding something. Seeing it from like its abdomen up. And that was it.
It had no legs or nothing. That's crazy, man.
Didn't see the legs, nothing. So
you can say how you felt. How did it make you feel?
Like, lock the doors, make sure the windows up. Yeah. Well, I won't stop him. Put it that way.
Little pee come out there, Andy? Did you release a little? Okay.
No. But then I was like for 10 minutes after, a solid 10 minutes, like, did I just see it? Did I imagine it? Am I making it up? Yeah. And you question yourself and you doubt yourself constantly. Yeah. I probably did for a few weeks after, and then I ended up going back and I'm looking at the area and it's like, I know I've seen it. It was the eye color was a color that I've never seen before, like orangey, greeny, fluorescent color.
Wow.
And so direct eye contact, and then it wasn't there.
As you were driving, huh?
Yeah.
You didn't go drive through it. You just saw it on the side.
It was in like a little wooded area, like outside of a field, pig farm, and that. Yeah. So, yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like it's a good encounter. It was, but how it happened, it's like because the newbies are classed as dogmen, aren't they? So it's like I wanted my dogman encounter to be like running through the woods. You know what I mean? Like something you see on TV. Nah, it was there, then it wasn't. 2 seconds.
It'd be cool if you had like a dog encounter where you are in the woods and you have no vehicle, you're just walking and it comes up on you. And you're able to not only take a picture, but you got video of it and it lunges for you and scratches you and you actually have evidence of the scratch. That would be something. I would like that.
Yeah. And then live to tell the story.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
That's always the best part is living to tell the story.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I do like the encounters that I've had. Obviously, well, not like I appreciate what's happened.
Yeah.
I think I'm pretty blessed into what's gone on. But I always thought that some of them, they'd be more exciting than what they actually was.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But I think you just don't, in reality, you don't get that. You don't get the Hollywood lights and...
No. You don't get the possession. You don't get the, the full-on experience. It's not a Universal Studios thing, No. I would love that. But no, I mean, I'm envious of that site that you had. I would love to see something like that. That would check off a box for me.
But even now, I still question it. Did it really happen?
Yeah.
But it's like, I know what I've seen.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
I just stick with that. That's it.
I have found when I'm driving, because I do a lot of driving, I have found that I sometimes see something that I think is a human, and then I'll do a double take, and it's like a pole.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's my mind making something into a person, because it's like Cowan says this all the time. It's oh my God. Yes. So I tend to do that a lot. And so if I see something on the road and I think it's something, and if I don't get a double take, I think that's what it is. But dude, I would love to see something. I would love to not drive and see something. That would be amazing. I went to a haunted house here. At the time, I was sponsored by Twin Paranormal here in San Antonio. They're a ghost tour company. They do a lot of ghost tours, and they have a podcast and all this. Well, they had sponsored me for a short time, and I got to do a paranormal investigation with them at the Black Swan Inn here in San Antonio. It's called the Victoria's Black Swan Inn. It's a really old house. My sister and my girlfriend, my daughter, we all went and we videotaped the whole thing, and we were very excited to like capture something. And it was a very creepy house. That's no doubt about that. They had dolls and all sorts of weird things. And they had this room that was a closet in the main office of the owner, the guy who owned the place. And this closet had 2 mirrors, one facing each other in the closet, and 2 chairs. And there was a time where if someone would ask me, do you want to go in the room by yourself? I would say, hell no. But doing down the rabbit hole for almost 3 years, they asked, anyone want to go in there? I was like, yes, I want to go in. And so I went in there. They closed the door, had my camera out. I was recording. I was talking. I was trying to get some sort of reaction. Nothing, man. I was so disappointed. I really wanted something to happen. But the only thing we captured is outside. My sister was recording, and we didn't see it at the time, but in the recording, there was a mist, like a white mist that went through you can see it flowing. And so I couldn't explain if that was, some sort of smoke or something. I don't know.
Did it stay in form, or was it?
It stayed in form, and you could see it flowing from one side to the other, and then it was gone. And so it could have been anything, but it was the only thing we captured.
I don't know, because I've had that happen a few times.
Yeah.
And not just me, I've had other people with me at the time. There's one, Sober Carper, who's in the chat. We been to Connect Chase a few times, and we were setting up to do this nighttime investigation. And we both seen this grey mist just move like kind of across the floor. Like a miniature cloud, but it stayed in form as it went across.
Yeah.
And it was just us setting the iPad up on the tripod and what have you. So I didn't even get it on film.
Damn. Oh, yeah.
I know. It's always the case.
That's awesome.
So,
oh, you have friends in San Antonio? That's cool. Yes, definitely send it to me. I would love that. And my Instagram is __ down the dot rabbit hole __. And feel free to follow. I post every single day. I get up and that's the first thing I do is post. I love it. I love it so much.
So do you have a backlog of what you're going to post, or do you have times where it's like, I have not got any content, I need to find something?
Yes, every morning I look. And so there's some days I'll actually do it the day before, and I'll find stuff that I really like, that I excited, and I'll do a schedule on it. I'll share it 4 in the morning, 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning usually, and then I'll do some posts. And I have another page called DTRH _cinematic.universe, which I do. It's nothing but movies and TV. Yeah, because I'm a cinephile. I love TV. I love all that stuff, and it's all I do. Movie reviews. I just saw Mickey 17. About to do a movie review for that, so that's also out there. Yeah. I'm a co-host of One Nothing Podcast. This is a podcast that deals with true crime, animal attacks, and bizarre deaths, and we release episodes every 2 weeks. I think. What are we? Oh. One is coming out tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, tomorrow.
It's 17th today.
Huh?
It's the 17th today.
So one's coming out tomorrow. It's brand new. It's great. Oh man, I love doing this show. Amanda's hilarious. We kind of have a good time. Just talking about stuff, and then we go into the story, and it's usually a downer. The stories are usually very, very sad. We had one recently where it's a true crime case where we believe the mother didn't do it, but she was accused of microwaving her 28-day baby. Oh. Yeah. And she's in prison now. But we don't think she did it. We think she's been kind of not framed, but it was her nephew, who was 12 at the time, may have done it. We don't know for certain, whew, that was a tough one. And then we try to bring it up with a nice joke at the end. But, I also do another podcast with my buddy Kevin, who he's in charge of the Where the Weird Ones Are podcast. It's paranormal, very similar in your vein here, Andy.
Yeah.
And we do a Sunday morning live show called Weird Java in the Morning, and we do it pretty early, where we have, it's kind of a variety show where we have all these segments. It's really fun, and we've been doing it for 20 weeks straight, so it's been going pretty strong. So there's all of that. I got merch. You guys want this hat? I love this hat, dude. I just got it. I designed that little thing. I need
that hat.
I love it, man. I've never been one for like the camouflage, but I thought I'm gonna design this. I'm gonna try it out. If I like it, I'll put it on in the merch store. So I got a lot of t-shirts out there. I got mugs. I got a lot of stuff on my merch. So definitely check that out. But yeah, brother.
Yep, same as I've started using TeePublic. That was Tommy.
Yeah,
got me into it. So TeePublic and Dashery. So yeah, and then I've got a few bits that I've bought myself that I'm selling, like key rings, stickers, all that kind of stuff.
Oh, nice, man. So, yeah, I want that design. I want that Alien 8 UK. Oh, by the way, the voice that says Alien 8 UK in the beginning.
Oh, yes.
Like butter. Very nice. Good job.
He's really good at the voiceovers.
Yeah.
I tried doing it. It's like, that is awful. Just stay away from it. It's not your thing. So I thought I'll try it myself. It might work. It doesn't. So
Alien 8 UK.
Yeah, he is good. Oh, yeah, here we go.
With Andy.
Hello. Alien 8 UK.
There you go. Listen to that. Yeah.
There he is. There he is.
Gotta get in that. Gotta get in that vibe. You gotta get down.
Yeah.
Get down. Yeah.
That's it. I can't do that. I'd just end up coughing and spluttering everywhere. And I can't do the accent, so there's no point.
Yeah. I should do that in my videos. Like some videos, sometimes will put my voice in there explaining.
Yeah.
I do a freeze. Like there's this one that I don't know if you've seen it's a Elmo balloon that goes upstairs and it actually moves.
Oh, it walks.
It walks.
Yes.
So I did a video.
I was watching that last week.
Okay. Yeah. And it starts, it like turns, it's at the bottom of the stairs and it turns slowly around.
It's slow.
And then I freeze it and I say, this is an Elmo balloon. It's not going to walk up the stairs, is it? And then it starts to walk up the damn stairs using its feet as it's going up.
Yeah,
creepy.
Because it's only like concertina paper in it for the legs.
Yeah.
Like the weighted feet. And it's like, it looks like its knees are bending. It's not got knees, but
I know it doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be doing that. But
I've looked at that because I thought, is it in reverse? Has someone done it, reversed it, and then got it to the right speed? But it's not. You can tell when a video's reversed.
So this lady, it's a TikTok video. She's posted these videos. Like she's got videos of her family. It's just video, and then all of a sudden, I guess it was for her son, this balloon. The son, there's other videos where the son looks like he's not, like she's talking to him, but he's not responding to her or anybody or anything. If the balloon starts to move, he follows it. He goes with it.
Wow.
And he doesn't say nothing. And so it's bizarre. She's worried that he might be possessed. He will not allow them to pop it because obviously if it's doing things like that, just get rid of the damn thing, right? Throw it away. You don't need that in your house, just right?
Cut the legs and let it go up.
He does not allow them to do that. And they're listening to him. I would have got rid of that thing. It would have been gone.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, Andy, did you see the end of that video?
I don't know.
Okay. So it goes to the basement door, right? It won't go in. So the mother's recording. So it goes and it's facing, like kind of facing the basement door. The door is open.
Yeah.
And then she screams because she can see up on the top, kind of peeking its head out, is some entity where you can only see like from here up. Yeah. And it's got hair just like yours, full head of hair on there, man.
Yeah.
And you can see like you can't see eyes. It's like sunken in, kind of no eyes kind of thing. I've seen that twice before. I've seen that in other videos, and I don't know what it is. I can't explain what it is. I can say that there was another man. I remember seeing this on Paranormal Caught on video. I've posted it several times because it creeps me out. This man was in his home. He had already taken his daughter to school. He's in his home and he can hear from his daughter's bedroom his daughter's voice saying, "Come here, Dad."
Yes.
So it's a mimic. I mean, I don't know if you've heard of those things, but so it was like a mimic. Basically, he freaked him out so much because he knows he took his daughter to school. He leaves the house. He just runs out because he's like, "There's no way she's there. There's just no way." And a little while later, he comes back and he takes a picture of the house.
Yeah, he looks at the house, doesn't he, from the road view? Yeah.
Yes. And then he says he saw something peeking from an impossible angle, upside down, and it's the same head from the Elmo balloon. It's the same head, bro. What the hell is that?
No, I'm good, thanks.
I'm gonna make a video of those. If I can find the third one, I know I've seen another one. If I can find the third one, I'm gonna make a video of all three of those because I want someone to answer that question. Does anyone know what that is? It's such a creepy little demon-looking thing. I don't know what it is.
No, I would not like to live there. And if I was, I'd soon be moving out. I think I'd rather live on the street than deal with stuff like that.
Dude. Oh.
Right.
Yeah, Daddy liked the creepy.
Show. Yes. I know you got stuff to do because you already pre-told me, so.
Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for having me on, man. It was a great time.
Thank you so much for coming on. And
thanks to all you people.
The videos you put up are amazing. If you don't already subscribe, just go on Instagram, type in Down the Rabbit Hole. You will see the logo, which is just over David's left shoulder or behind his head. It's like the little red and black figure.
Yeah.
And you'll know. What I'll do is quickly. So this is
there. It is.
That's it.
That's me.
And there's.
Thank you.
So there's the rabbit in the white suit.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go. So that's it. Get on there and have a look because you will not be disappointed.
Well, thank you so much, sir.
No,
I really
thank you,
Andy. This is great. Freaking awesome. Love
this. Thank you. And definitely need to get you back on. Get you back on when Nicole's on because she'll have a lot more questions than what I've got as well. So
for sure.
We'll sort some out. So thank you so much for coming on. And thank you, Tommy, for putting us in contact.
Yeah.
We appreciate it. So that's it. We are done for this bonus edition. I'll be back on Wednesday with Nicole and you got Jonathan Downs coming on. He's going to be talking, I think, about cryptids. And then on Friday, we've got Brandon, Thomas, and Dawn Lester coming on, but no Nicole because she's out at an event. So, and that's that. But then from the Friday, I will be back on the following Monday, a bit earlier, with Bigfoot Dwarf. He's going to be coming on talking about some Sasquatch stories.
Cool.
He's over in California. So thank you again, David. Really appreciate it. So Down the Rabbit Hole, podcast of
1-0 podcast.
1-0. That was it. Yeah.
Weird Java in the Morning podcast also.
Yeah, you'll find him on every podcast and every platform you can think of. So thank you everyone in the chat. Thank you, Og, Chiro, and Midwest for doing the modding. Thank you for your questions. Have a wonderful 2 days, and we will see you, like I said, Wednesday, back at the normal time, which is 8:30 UK time, 4:30 EST, because our clocks haven't gone back yet. And that's it. So I'm going to leave you some words from Gerald and then play the outro. So take care, everyone, and speak to you all soon. Bye-bye.
This episode will also be available as audio wherever you listen to your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, etc., as well as being available on Audible. Thanks for watching. See you next time.